Hey there, good man fam. This video today is going to speak about a very important question that a fellow YouTuber asked, and I think that it needs to be addressed again. I've already addressed this before, but the more people that hear it, the more people understand, the more men who will be equipped with what's needed to be able to deal with these modern females. Now, the individual who's going to ask this question is a fellow YouTuber named Rome. Shout out to Rome and Average Man Unplugged and the AMU tribe. And he was speaking about this on a video where he was talking about Shay Sade. Shout out to her as well. And this was about passport bros and how it is that these individuals are going overseas and doing the things that they do, and some stuff that happened with a couple of them over there and one in the States that was crazy. So you should go check out that video. I'm going to try to put the link in the description because they've taken this craziness to a new level, these modern females. And when you see what it is that they're doing to try and stop passport bros, you're almost not going to believe it. But trust, it's happening. So go check that out when you get a chance. Now, we're going to talk about what you're about to hear. And I'm going to explain something very important regarding this whole thing. So listen closely to what Rome asked in this video.
I don't know why they think that men are just gonna. Here's my thing. Here's what I don't understand. Do these women really think that doing this is gonna make men want to stay here and date them? That would be my question. Like, do these women honestly think that doing this and going through all these kind of shaming tactics, all this kind of manipulation, do y'all really think going through all that effort is gonna make men want to stay?
The short answer, yeah, they do. They actually believe that they can shame men into compliance. You have to think about this, Rome. 40 years ago, when they started flying their womanism flag, for what was it that they were going after that primarily? It wasn't equality, it was power. In order to get that power, they had to do what? Attack the people who were sitting at the top with the power. And who were the individuals sitting at the top with the power? Men. So this is why they started going on what? Radio shows. They started going on television shows, talk shows, magazines. Fast forward, internet, social media, podcasts. Doing what? Trying to shame men and talk about how much better they are than men because they wanted power. These modern females craved it like Gollum in Lord of the Ring, my precious. That's how much they wanted it. So them shaming men, they believed would get it. And guess what? It did. Think about it. Men started doing what? Not talking. Men started shutting up. Why? Because they didn't want to get dragged on Sally Jesse Raphael. They didn't want to get dragged on Montel Williams, Ricky Lake, all of those. Because they understood if that happened, I'm ruined. Especially if you're a business owner. Because remember what I told you about how females fight. They fight through getting each other together and attacking you digitally. Back in the day, they would attack you with mailers. They would protest you in the whole nine. So next thing you know, your profits for your corporation have dropped 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%. So because men didn't want to deal with that, what would they do? They would just not say anything when females would say, we're better than men, and you better do this and you better do that. Men just stepped back. So all of these years, these shaming tactics have been working. They even work with men in relationships. But what happened? Modern females got too greedy and they overplayed their hand. What did they start doing? They started talking about how men weren't needed anymore, to the point to where they started doing the hashtag cam. You know, the whole end all men hashtag? Right. So because of that, men said, you know what? Enough of this. Enough of this. You telling us you don't need us? Fine. We're done. Here's where these modern females made a gargantuan mistake. Because they were using the same tactics they'd been using for 4 decades, they didn't understand that now that the internet is in existence, men having passports hits differently. Because now the men can talk to these women overseas and then do what? Use their passports to actually go meet these women to whom they've already spoken. So men were trapped inside this Western society having to deal with all the shaming bullcrap for 4 decades. But once they realized, wait a minute, I can actually get out of here, the shaming tactics no longer work. And here's where the modern females made the mistake. So now that they see that the shaming tactics they've been using for 4 decades no longer worked, guess what they started doing? They started upping the ante. They started mass reporting people's posts. They started adding to the words that they were using in their shaming language. Now it's to the point that they're doing crazy stuff at government offices. You got to go check out that video on Rome's channel, Average Man Unplugged. It's crazy. They're starting to do things that are kind of low key illegal just to try to stop men from leaving because they realize men have found a way off the plantation. This is why they actually believe that shaming can keep men here because they've been doing the shaming for so long and men have been staying that they think that shaming is what kept men here. That wasn't what kept men here. What kept men here was that they didn't know they had other options. And now that they do, it doesn't matter how much shaming these modern females do, they cannot stop the movement. It's a wrap for modern females in the West. Passport bros, y'all up. Don't forget to go subscribe to AMU and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button on this channel, TYGMRight.